Are you a wedding photographer? If so, you might be throwing away your client's best photos. As wedding photographers, we take thousands or even tens of thousands of photos throughout the day, but we only actually select maybe 10 or 20% to deliver to our clients. In practice, I think that's a shame, because from those unused photos, which we often shoot in sequences of 20, 30 or 40 shots in a row, we can actually create great animations that can really liven up the wedding gallery we deliver to our clients. Today I'd like to show you how I handle this and how, thanks to my own plugin, I can very quickly create GIFs and animations that make my galleries much more interesting, and my clients love them. Let's take a look. This is one of my recent weddings, specifically a portrait session from that wedding. And here you can see that we have a bunch of similar photos, which if we enlarge them and scroll through them quickly like this, you can see they were taken in rapid succession at about 10 frames per second. And when we scroll through the photos quickly like this, they actually create a kind of simple short video. In practice, I used to give the client maybe 3 or 4 photos from this session or this part of the session, and the rest would go in the trash. But today, I do it differently. And now, I not only give the client those 3 or 4 photos, but I also quickly make a GIF from the rest of the photos, which brings the whole gallery to life, adds movement, and makes a much better and more interesting impression on the client than a classic gallery that only contains still photos. So now I'd like to show you right away how I can make such a GIF in Lightroom using my plugin. So we have the photos selected. We'll pick the first photo of the sequence and the last photo of the sequence. That will be, let's say, maybe this photo, yeah, here. We'll mark all the photos with a yellow label, so we know what we're working with. We'll go to the first photo, apply the preset we normally use, just bump up the exposure, adjust the white balance, and I don't think anything else is needed. We'll go ahead and select all of the photos, then we'll sync all the settings across them, and that process gives us the photos fully prepared and ready with the consistent look and style that we normally use in the gallery. This way, everything matches perfectly. So let's go back to library mode, select all of the photos that you want to export, and click Library, Plugin Extras, and Export Single. So at this point we see a preview of the photos, which is smooth, though it might stutter a bit at first, because the preview uses the standard previews built into Lightroom, so you have to wait for them to be created, or have Lightroom create them in advance. So we see that the program was able to automatically detect the FPS, which can be set manually anyway, but I'll leave it on automatic. We can choose the format. I like to use MP4 because it's more efficient. For resolution, we'll use 2048 pixels. We'll leave the quality at medium. We'll leave the file name and the output folder. We can define it either as the same as the raw files, meaning the same output folder as where we have the raw files located, or alternatively, we can export directly to the desktop. I'll leave the output folder the same as the source photos. And what's great is that we can, if we're using MP4, we can directly set the animation capture time before the first photo of the given sequence or after the last photo of the given sequence. And at the same time, we can have the video animation imported back into Lightroom, into the given catalog, into the same folder as the photos, which is great, especially when you then export the whole album, including photos and animations. You can export animations and photos at the same time, and then have them uploaded to your gallery at the same time. For example, on PickTime, which will greatly simplify your entire workflow. So we have it ready like this. We'll click on export and wait a few seconds or minutes. Lightroom actually has to export all the JPEGs and then compile them into an animation. So after about a minute, we're done, and we can see that the video has been added right here. When we play it, we have a perfect animation that will beautifully liven up our wedding album. When exporting from Lightroom, which we can quickly show, it's actually enough to simply check the Include Video Files option in the Settings Export menu, which means that Lightroom will include video files in the export and at the same time name them correctly, and thus correctly place them among the other photos. You can then use the resulting animation not only for your clients in the wedding gallery, but also, for example, for your Instagram. And believe me, similar animations can liven up Instagram absolutely perfectly. As wedding photographers, we have huge power because we create memories. And that moment when our clients open their wedding gallery for the first time is unique. And from my point of view, we should really place great emphasis on it and prepare the gallery so that it's as good as possible. GIFs and animations are precisely the way to liven it up and make it an extraordinary experience. So if you're interested in this option, definitely check out the description below, where you'll find a link to my plugin. You can try it for free and see if creating GIF animations makes sense for you, and if you want to include it in your workflow. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Take care and best of luck.